Today we're here to talk about Connor Bedard, and boys are a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Connor Bedard excelled as a young hockey player, earning him exceptional status in March of 2020, and being the first ever player for the WHL to get this. He went first overall to Regina Pats, and ever since then he made a name for himself. In 15 games in his first season, he had 28 points and followed that up with 100 points the next year in a 62-game season. What do you do after that? Well, in his next season, he had an absolutely ballistic season where he put up 71 goals, 72 assists for 143 points in just 57 games. How did he do in the playoffs? Well, they didn't go too far, but in just 7 games, Connor Bedard put up 10 goals and 10 assists for 20 points. He's proven to everyone that he's NHL ready. Not to mention, as a Canadian, the unforgettable World Junior performance that Connor Bedard put on. In just 7 games and a gold medal winning performance, he put up 9 goals and 14 assists for 23 points, breaking the Canadian record. In a somewhat controversial draft lottery, the Chicago Blackhawks earned the right to select first overall where they're going to pick Connor Bedard, and of course, they did. Connor Bedard had a new mission to turn a pretty low-level Chicago Blackhawks team into a contender. How long would it take him? Well, in his rookie season, he played very, very well, earning him the Calder Trophy, where he put up 61 points in 68 games, but only 22 goals. Despite his best efforts, the Chicago Blackhawks were once again a horrendous team, and they ended up getting the second overall pick. In the 2024 offseason, the Blackhawks were only a little bit active. They added Tyler Bertuzzi and Teuvo Teravainen, 2 pretty solid wingers, but no superstars to go alongside Connor Bedard. So people were still wondering how will he fare next season, but people also expected much more from him than the rookie season. They want to see a point-per-game season from Connor Bedard to really show his true potential. These 2 signings for Chicago were relatively respectful performers, as Teuvo Teravainen put up 58 points in 82 games, while Tyler Bertuzzi put up 46. On the other hand, Connor Bedard was still looked at as the superstar of this team and the number 1 player on the squad. So how did he perform? Well, in Connor Bedard's first 82-game season, he put up 67 points only, with 44 assists and 23 goals. Also a minus 36 in the season. Chicago had another dismal season, and they got 3rd overall pick, which picked Anton Frondell in the draft. For a player with such high standards, it was a disappointing season for Connor Bedard. People want point-per-game play from him. Connor Bedard took it very personally himself as well, saying multiple times it wasn't a good season and having some memorable quotes along the way. What was really noticeable from the last 2 seasons of Connor Bedard, from his rookie season and his sophomore season, to me, is the goal scoring. After a player scored 70 goals in less than 60 WHL games, more than a goal per game, he's very much struggling to score in the NHL, putting up a combined 45 goals in 2 seasons. Connor was often known as a volume shooter in the WHL. He put up some games where he's putting up 10-plus shots in a single game. However, in the NHL, he only took 2.67 shots per game. Even more noticeably is that he took over 3 shots per game in his rookie season, and in his second season dropped to only 2.38 shots per game. So why is he dropping off so much? It's also important to note that not only is Connor Bedard's shooting volume down, but his shooting percentage is also extremely low. 10% in his rookie season, just 11% in his second year. This is not elite numbers compared to someone like Austin Matthews, Leon Draisaitl, and the elite goal scorers of this game. Many fans are speculating that Connor Bedard is turning into a true playmaker rather than being a goal scorer, and he's looking to make plays for his teammates rather than put the puck in the net. Honestly speaking, Bedard is in a tough spot, because if he decides to be a playmaker, he's not the elite wingers on his side to score the goals. Therefore, he needs to put the puck in the net himself. As a result of this season for Connor Bedard, where he only scored 23 goals and did not play his best hockey, he is struggling with a lot of criticism at the moment. There's a lot of comparisons being made to San Jose center Macklin Celebrini, who was number 1 pick the year after Bedard. Celebrini had a great rookie season that was affected by injuries a little bit, therefore he did not win the Calder Trophy and instead went to Lane Hudson. However, he made a real name for himself in that San Jose uniform and put up a great point production, almost point per game in the games he played. Celebrini also outpaced Connor Bedard in goals, scoring 25 goals this year compared to Bedard's 23. Interesting to note is that Macklin Celebrini only shot 10.5% shooting percentage this season as well. Therefore, you could argue maybe he had a down year for goal scoring as well. Maybe he could put up to 15% next year, or he might score 30 or even 40 goals. Now, how will Bedard compare to that? Well, I'll put it like this. Yes, it's weaker competition in the WHL than the NHL, but in the last 2 seasons WHL, Connor Bedard shot just shy of 20% with a 19.7% shooting percentage and 15.6% the season before. Those are both very good numbers. So, how can he only be at 12% in the NHL? Given his skill set and his elite shot, I think he's bound to hit 14 to 15% next season, as an elite goal scorer should do. Yes, he could be a playmaker down the road, but I think it's his time to score some goals and make a real name for himself in the goal scoring category in the NHL, as he did in the WHL. With this projected improvement to his shooting, Connor Bedard is bound to have a bounce back year. However, if he doesn't, it's not really his fault. This is why. Chicago has an extremely young, inexperienced roster, and therefore they're unable to put the right pieces around Bedard to get the most out of him. Yes, in WHL, he was very much the number 1 player in his team and carried a lot of the puck and made a lot of the plays. But in the NHL, we all know it's harder. It's not a one-man show out there, and all 5 players need to show up every game. Let's not forget, he is just 20 years old. He just turned 20 last week at the time of filming this. I think next year for Bedard is going to look a lot better. Yes, he only scored 22 and 23 goals throughout his career. I think next season he'll score 35 goals and put up 50 assists for 85 points. I agree that Connor Bedard is due for a true breakout year, given the potential and the skill of the player. So therefore, this is his year to do it. I think Connor Bedard has to realize in his mind that no matter what happens next season, whether he scores 50 goals, 30 goals, 20 goals, puts up 100 points, puts up 50 points, puts up 60 points, at the end of the day, he still has the skill set to make it big in this league. He's just 20 years old. He plays on a very inexperienced team. The fact of the matter is that Connor Bedard could score 100 points next year and be a minus player. The team is just so inexperienced, and they are not ready to make the playoffs yet, let alone make the finals or win a Stanley Cup. What Connor Bedard should be thinking this season is forget the exceptional status. Forget the first overall draft pick. Forget the comparison with Victor Wembanyama despite being a foot and a half shorter. Just go out there, have fun, play your game, and honestly, that will give you the best results this season. As a Canadian, when I watched Connor Bedard play in the World Junior Championships, there was no doubt in my mind he'd be a superstar. So there's no worries still. I think he can go out there, be an amazing player, and just prove all the haters wrong. It's time to stop worrying about Connor Bedard. The 20-year-old player will be just fine. He's got a good 15 plus years left in his career. Give him some time, and we'll see what happens. Not to mention, the last season, he ended April with a pretty good month, putting up 9 points in 8 games. If he can put up that kind of numbers the whole season, there's no stopping him. Connor Bedard is my vote of confidence to become an elite player. But please, as NHL fans, give him time. He's just 20 years old, and he has lots of career to go. Thanks a lot for watching today's video. I hope you learned a bit about Connor Bedard, why he struggled last season, and why it should not be a worry for anybody watching. Thanks so much again. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, engage in my social media on Instagram and TikTok with the same name. Have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.